All right. So, first question.
Shouldn't you start with like an intro or something?
Oh, hello everyone. I am Fox767, but I also go by Clovis. I will be the interviewer for today. Would our three folks like to introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Senior Trader Mary. I am the leader of the Feline Fine and the Merchant Guild leader. You may recognize me as the one with the stone curse and the merchant dress.
I'm Warsmith, though I sometimes get called by my in-game name of Elsa Frostery. I'm the skeleton to Mary's left, and I am the Reaper Guild leader.
My name is Idolin. I am the Order of Souls representatives within the Feline Fine.
All right. Shall we begin the interview then?
I believe so.
All right. So, first question for me. What actually inspired you to create the Feline Fine in the first place? Like, not the name, just like the guild as a whole.
Well, uh, be- this is actually not very well known, but before the Feline Fine, I actually used to run a mill sim, which is a military simulator, which is a type of group where, there's ranks and you can rank up, and it's basically just
Mm-hmm.
it was called the French Royal Navy. I ran that for a
Huh.
long time as almost like a not critique, but like uh, a splinter group of the Union's Hand, which is a server I used to be a lieutenant in. The longest time I was upset at them because I believe they had like tried to push me out for no reason of their officerhood. But after a while, when guilds came out, I made the realization, hey, why do I care? So I
Yeah.
made the feline fine as well, more peaceful, friendly sort of thing. The Switzerland of guilds, just with a certain set of
Mm-hmm.
people. And though none of those guild leaders are still with us now, or even in the server, I still feel like, as a whole, the feline fine has really kept that idea of being the peaceful guild that is just trying to be, well,
Yeah. And
friendly.
this previous apologies. In this previous server you were in, how would you describe the leadership?
Uh, the Union's Hand or the French Royal Navy?
Uh, both, I suppose.
Union's Hand, I feel like it would be a dick move to describe their leadership. I think it was pretty well done. I feel like if I insult them, I'm going to get a bunch of angry messages from my dear friend and leader of the guild, Kodak. But the French Royal Navy had pretty flawed leadership. I'll be honest, I wasn't the best leader then. I didn't learn how to run things at all. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I still ran it decently well. I kept a decent member base and such. No successful events except for like one, but I still hold those memories dear.
And how would you describe the leadership of your own guild?
Feeling fine right now is at a all-time high when it comes to leadership. Sure, it's slightly different to where it was when the actual festival happened, but I still think right now it's got the best unity out of any sort of version of the feline fine. I mean, we've got a day one member, and we've got so many people who are just genuinely patriotic about the guild, and I feel like that's the best way to have it.
I see. So next question. Why did you name it the Feline Fine?
Actually, it has multiple reasons to be called that. Um, well, it could be seen as, well, I'm feline fine, feeling fine and such, but it could also be
Yeah, that
the fine to be a. You could have like the fine to be a feline. You gotta pay the fine to be a feline, or maybe you
hmm,
could be enforcing the feline fine, like fining others.
I
It
see.
can mean many things, just like anyone in the guild can be many things. It's such a. The whole point of the guild is to allow anything. That's why we have a guild leader of each faction, because I believe, well, it's important to, well, exactly that, represent each faction.
Yeah.
And if I may chime in here, go on and name me 5 other guilds where you can have an Athena and a Reaper in high leadership, and the worst it'll probably get is the occasional friendly bar fight. Go on, I'll wait.
I don't know any other Sea of Thieves guilds, to be honest.
So here's here's a question that is actually from me personally. Would you ever want your guild to align with someone?
What do you mean?
Like, so what I mean is that would you ever want to like have a partnership with any other guilds if possible?
In the past, I've considered it and I've tried it,
Hmm.
but it's not going to work
Hmm.
out if I do it. I've done it with the Golden Gamble. That didn't work out. I've offered it with other guilds. They didn't really want to. The problem is, people are in the Feline Fine server for Feline Fine related things. And even if I partner with another guild, that's trusting more leadership. And as someone who's swapped leadership so many times, I would never partner with another guild. I'll be honest. I mean, I'll work with other guilds, but I don't think with how many changes of leadership I can handle more than 4 other mods at once. I'll be honest.
I see. Let's see. One moment. Let me find one. So here's the next one. The festival a while back. What actually gave you all the idea for that?
Well, a lot of these have been directly for me, but this one I feel like I can somewhat pass off to the others of what gave them their idea for how they handled the festival. But for myself, I was thinking about how I've always liked the idea of having actual livelihood at Port Merrick, and I was thinking of one time how I just really wanted to have I don't know, a screenshot of a bunch of pirates in Port Merrick and stuff. Then I thought,
Hmm.
wait a minute, I have a guild. And wait a minute, private servers exist. So first I was just going to do a photo in Port Merrick, but then I'm like, wait, you're a good public speaker. You know what you're doing, and you've never seen anyone pull off a good festival, per se. So why not simply do it yourself? Why not do this thing you've always wanted to see done in this game yourself? Because I've always wanted
Hmm.
to see people get along as a group and, well, you know, run a
Uh
festival.
huh.
That's always been something that's pretty huge to me. Though I shall pass this question to the others. What, starting with Warsmith, what like gave you like the idea of how you treated the festival per se?
Well, I was brought in along with Mary when this started really becoming a big thing. About the time I had brought in, it had it was more than just, hey, let's do a fun event at Port Merrick. It was the 1 year anniversary of the Feline Fine and of the guild feature as a whole is coming up. Let's celebrate that. And I was immediately on board because the whole thing with guilds and with the Fine as well is they bring people together. You can have two people on opposite sides of a continent or even the globe and they play together, laugh together, share loot together, make memories, and end up friends at the end of the day. So I was absolutely behind giving that some more attention, especially with how, as I'm sure we've all seen at least once, salty the seas can be at times, and I'm not referring to just the water. So when Mary told me effectively what the festival was about, I was 100% behind it and added a few ideas of my own. Sadly, they didn't fully make the final cut. We had some technical difficulties.
We
One of
did
them did,
a rowboat
which
race.
was
You weren't there for it, but we did a rowboat race with horns.
oh yeah, we did. We did, didn't we? Yeah, there was the rowboat race, and then my own idea was to somehow manage to get the burning blade.
And we did it.
And I theorized if we could take out all of the skeletons, we could effectively offer tours of the burning blade without the crews from the other ships getting killed. And we almost got there. We got the blade, and then the server crashed, and we could not get another blade for
I mean,
18 hours.
we got deck shots. We did get deck shots. Like, we
Oh
played
yes,
tennis.
deck shots. I remember that. I remember that. I was standing on the blade and watching everyone try to cannon into the crow's nest, and it
Yeah.
eventually did happen.
What about you, Adlin?
Um, I felt like I knew about it a little bit more early on. I felt like milestones always meant a bit more to you than they probably would the average person. I feel like the average person would see like guild birthdays as, oh, today marks the 365th like day that guilds were a feature within the game, but you saw it as something perhaps a lot more of importance. That like you hold this guild in such a high light, and I don't think that many other guilds are as impassioned about perhaps this game and perhaps the members in them. I will say it was a lot bigger of an undertaking than I thought it would be. Um, there was that 12 hours where all ships were down to one person was perhaps the hardest I've fought to stay awake. I did lose. I did lose in the end there in sometime that early morning, but I didn't lose a ship though, which I'm proud about.
Wish I could say the same. That's going to be a mark on my record for sure. I'll admit it. Live on interview here. I not only lost a ship, I lost the blade.
The burning blade. Yep.
And
I'll admit
and
it.
almost
But
every
don't break,
time,
you know.
Moment.
almost every time we lost a ship, it was someone you invited. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bend but
Also, not
don't
my
break.
proudest moment.
Is how it's gonna. Just how you do it. Just bend but don't break.
Yep.
Yeah. When you fall
Oh,
down,
I-
you just get back up again. Or if you're skilly, put yourself together and then get back up again.
Yeah.
Well, I have. Let's see. I have one more main question for all of you, and then a few questions for Warsmith and Ida, since my time is unfortunately limited. So,
Okay.
first, the big question: what does the guild, the Feline Fine as whole, mean to you all?
For me, it means a lot to me. I feel like, well, not only is it all I have left is some people who I may have low or high opinions of that left the guild for good or bad reasons, but it's just it's kind of what I've always wanted in the Sea of Thieves, you know? And I guess in a way, it's just I've always wanted something like this in the game. So having it right in front of me, right in reach, having this community where you can just say you want to play and then boom, you get to play is really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
right. Now, apologies. Go ahead.
I guess I've just been working on this for so long, and I've been working in this guild for so long. That's the conglomeration of not just my time in the Feline Fine, but the French Royal Navy, the Apple Crew, the effort, the everything. It's just such a big deal that I'm genuinely so proud of all of it, you know? And it just means the world to me because all of these people are here because of me and my talking.
All right. And one more question for you, maybe, before I switch over to my last few questions for the others.
Shouldn't the others answer?
Oh, yes.
Also, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
quickly do a reset so I
Ida,
don't
you go first.
get kicked out.
Yeah, AFK check, probably.
Oh, AFK check. All right.
There we go.
So who's answering first? Is it me? Who is
Yeah.
it?
You
You.
can go, Ida. What does the
Um,
feline find mean to you?
I feel like it puts a bit more flesh behind Sea of Thieves for me. I feel like when I wasn't in like a guild and wasn't exactly part of something, I feel like it was my achievement in Sea of Thieves that really I was working towards, but I feel like it's more now our achievements, as in like the guild level, the guild rep, whatever. I feel like that feels a lot better, and it feels like you have people who share the same interests as you. Only probably you could just probably join their crew and just play with them at any time.
And
Mhm.
as for me, what does the find mean to me? Well, both from the perspective of my skeleton character and also the player behind them, this place is my second home behind Sea of Thieves / the Reapers themselves.
Damn,
I
behind?
have
Oh, screw you
never
too.
been I have never been prouder to be part of such a welcoming community, and I wholeheartedly consider Mary and the other guild leaders some of my absolute best friends.
Aw.
You can tell I'm not good at improv
Hmm.
speeches, but just
Couldn't do worse
I'm
than me.
sure you're I'm sure you're getting all the warm fuzzies, so gotta be doing something right.
All right. Now, a question primarily for Wolfsmith and Ida. So, as two members of the guild's leadership, how would you describe your time as leadership?
I'll let
It's.
Ida take the lead on this one. I've
I
only
feel
been
like
leader for a little bit, really.
I feel like my time as leadership. I feel like it can be. There can be certain situations where you are called upon, and it can be rather dicey. Like you have to make the decision on. Like sometimes it can get pretty personal, but I think for the most part, I feel like it is you share that responsibility over 5 people. I feel like it doesn't. I mean, it's obviously important, but it's not too much and not too little.
Yeah.
I see.
Ida Ida put it pretty well there. Sure, it's a lot of responsibility and it can be quite daunting at times, but you're never in it alone. You have others to support you, and that's the amazing thing about it.
I
And
see.
when you need support, they'll have your back.
I see. All right. So, I have two more main questions. One, both are pretty big. One is for Mary, and the other is for all of you. All right. So, Mary, what do you, and I guess this could also technically count for the others if they wish to answer, but what do you hope for the Feline 5 in the future?
I'm gonna be honest, I want the festival to become a big thing, like actually notable. Like I want this to become a yearly thing. For instance, next year I hope to have like maybe a dev from the rare team. Hopefully, look if Chucksy Sinclair sees this or like Captain Falcor sees this. All I'm saying is we would love to have you for the next one. You know, probably a bigger staff team specifically for the festival. You know, just simply have it more organized, you know, more perceptualized, more just take what we have of the feline find now and actually fully realize its potential. Because just a year ago, this server was a mess. Like, every named ship had a voice channel, everything was everywhere. But now, it's such an organized server, and we even have a festival. I can't even imagine what the next festival is going to be like, and I can't even imagine what's in the year to come. But I can just imagine one thing alone, and that's that with the leadership we have now, and even if it changes in the future, I know for sure that the feline vine will in fact prosper, and I really hope it does become more organized.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I
here.
share
Oh, go
Mary's
ahead.
dream for a bigger and better festival. Even as rough around the edges as it admittedly was, we still made some major accomplishments and had overall quite a lot of fun. John doggone Bardcore, for crying out loud. That is pretty hard to top.
Yeah.
All right. So, final question. Do any of you regret your time in the Feline Fine, or would you change anything?
Mm-mm.
Not in the slightest. If I were to change anything at all, I would get in the fine sooner because this place is amazing. This reminds me of the first ever time I did Glitterbeard on Sea of Thieves, and I didn't know. I kind of knew what Glitterbeard was, but I'd never been in the treehouse before. I didn't know the whole story behind it. So we played the song and it played the lyrics, and I went in the treehouse and, being the lore fiend that I am, clicked on everything I could possibly read to read and learned about the legacy behind the man, and just was absolutely touched that the dev team would commemorate someone like that, and I like to think whatever Starlet Sea Glitterbeard's on now, I'd say he's probably pretty proud of where pirates have been taking things, especially here with stuff like this. it's it's very Glitterbeard, this whole bringing people together, and I love it.
Mm.
And I suppose that leaves me. I I've been in this server for over a year now. I've been working in Sea of Thieves stuff for so long now, running things, and I'm not gonna pretend it was all sunshine in rainbows, because there's been some really hard times. There's been some good times. There's been some amazing times, and there's been some really bad times. I feel like the main thing that I did that I really regret is day one, I hired friends. Day one, I hired people I knew as friends and hired them because they were friends. Not because I thought they were good at leading, but because they were friends.
The
And
whole never mix business with friendship, I assume.
and sure, I'm friends with people now. And sure, all of that. I knew them before and all of that. But I know that they're capable. That's why they're here, because they're capable. And I feel like the Feline Find before really fell apart because everything was linked to this. And it almost had a big, like, when a bunch of old guild leaders left in December and then January, that was a big one. That was like a big hit to the Find, and like people didn't think there was like a time period there where I genuinely thought the Feline Find wasn't going to last because of that. And I guess one of the main things I would regret is not making it more. A lot of the time you try to be nice, and it's good to be nice. But you need to realize sometimes it's important to enforce the rules you wish to enforce and enforce things how you wish them to be done. And that's what I regret. I regret not being.
There's a line between a diplomat and a doormat, and you need to know where it's drawn.
That's my only regret. Simply not, like, structuring it better at first and not making it more organized and adding bad people. But other than that, I don't regret a thing. I'd do it all again.
So here's the final sort of bonus question for all of you. If right now you could do anything for the Feline Fine, what would it be?
Anything.
Talk a rare team member's ear off about how amazing a Glitterbeard legacy this place is.
No. No. You said anything.
Glitterbeard again.
No. What? Say. Okay. Look. You said anything, right? You said anything.
Yes. Doesn't matter if it's for the future. Doesn't matter if it's
no. Are we talking like genie in the bottle?
Yeah,
yes,
like genie in a bottle.
You have
a rare dev in a bottle. Rare dev in a bottle. Look, if I had a rare dev in a bottle, I would put like in a fucking book in Port Merrick on the stage about like a little repertoire of the current Feline Find guild leaders and make them all have a custom costume where it goes as their OCs or whatever. That's my little rare dev in a bottle. So I can actually play as Mary without using a stone curse's fur.
Aww.
And so I can actually have kitty ears.
I feel like flagship would be pretty cool.
Yeah, flagships would be cool.
There goes the
yay. Probably stand up, huh?
Yeah, we probably should stand up. But yeah, flagships would be really cool. I've been thinking of like making an actual flagship for the Feline Find, though the 47 kind of is that.
No, but like imagine a burning blade, but for guilds.
Oh yes.
Did I hear
like
burning blade?
Imagine if we upgrade. No, imagine like 47, but like burning blade size. Yeah.
So kind of like a Man of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A massive ship with just 47 upgrade.
For the guild. But I feel like it'd have to come at like Distinction 1 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely takes some work.
So, if this is just my personal
I
opinion,
don't think Warsmith said anything.
Really... Oh.
No, I did. I said something before we said that it was all genie in a bottle.
Yeah.
What did you say?
If I said that I would basically just talk a rare staffer's ear off about the find and have them actually listen.
Fair enough. But if you had a rare
So-
dev in a bottle,
Yeah, if well, I mean, I'm sure there's one thing we can all agree on, which is if we focus on just the rare dev in a bottle part and take the guild part out of the equation. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a chorus of 4 people saying "Shrouded Ghost win."
and then one person say "cat curse, please."
Yeah.
I'm the one
Yeah.
person.
So that's all I have for this interview. Do we have any final words we wish to say?
On to a next New Year Feline Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully next year we don't get Lazy Beard in the Q&A.
Yeah. Yeah. To quote a song rather influential
Hopefully
to the
next time we
Vine,
di-
I've
we
never
don't
met a
get-
better bunch of bully lads than you. And also,
So to the
because
forward.
it's
Lazy Beard
gotta
on the
be on the
blade.
record.
I love Canine.
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
Ah.